it's your girl Jay.
And Jazz.
And welcome to Jay and Jazz, also known as the Daily Dose Podcast, where we talk about the hottest topics in K-pop. Don't stop. Jazz, how have you been? Oh, it's new 2018. You can't be You have to be excited.
You know when you're like doing a diet?
Oh.
It's just sad.
Girl, tell me about it.
Literally, I ate a salad. And I told my family, I was like, I ate a salad at lunch at work today, and I was depressed afterwards. And they were like, that's not good. And I was just like, no, it's just how I am.
Because you specifically, like, your lunch is free at your work. So It's like, using that free lunch for a salad is probably the most
unfulfilling.
depressing thing.
And I'm like so hungry when I eat it. I'm just like,
it's not going anywhere.
Like, it didn't do anything for me.
This is problematic. Salad stands are gonna come for you.
Come for me, because it's
well,
not gonna help me unless you can give me.
Twitter.
I even tried to put salmon in there.
You need. I think the dressing is what really makes it.
And that's what I feel like it takes away from the fact that I'm eating a salad. Then
that's true. I think
because I pour it everywhere.
Dressings. When did this become Salad Monthly? Hello, welcome to Salad Monthly. Today we're discussing croutons.
Are they good or are they not?
Find out later. So we're back at it again. It's the new year. So I guess we're gonna just jump right into the first big event, K-pop related event of New Year, which was the GDA, the Golden Disc Awards. It's a pretty big award show. A lot of people were saying, of course, besides the Korean Music Awards, the KMAs, that they think it's probably the most fair award shows.
Yeah. Because
it's heavily, at least the major awards, are heavily based on just how much you sold. And you can't really argue with numbers.
Yeah.
But we'll get into why maybe, there might be a bit of a debate whether even numbers is a fair way to determine. Yeah. But let's kind of go through the winners and talk about who won what. We'll kind of skim over the Bong Song awards because there's like...
You're not gonna...
okay, then let's do it.
They did just as well.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Everyone's a winner. So let's start off with the digital awards. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Golden Disc Awards is split into like two nights. The first, which awards like digital excellence, so like digital sales, individual songs, and then the second that awards physical.
The second day is physical awards.
Yeah, physical awards. I was trying to be fancy. That was the problem.
I was like, when I was listening to you, I was like, that's a lot of words.
Excellency. No, because have you ever seen a drama award show, like for actors and actors? It's like high excellency in acting male. Like, what? That's too fancy, actually. But I was trying to be on my Korean award show, okay? Sorry for trying to be a new me in 2018.
No, but I'm just saying.
Oh, look at, I was saying bong sang.
You were saying, really? Were you?
Bong sang.
You were saying bong?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Bong.
Bon.
Bing bong sang.
Bon song.
Bon Song Awards, which is just basically top digital songs and artists. It doesn't have the songs listed here, but I think you guys probably know which songs.
Why isn't that though?
Because, they're trying to make this hard on us.
Well, Blackpink is obvious.
Yeah, Blackpink, they're the one thing they did, got one. Blackpink, Haze, Bobagon, Akmu, Twice, Big Bang, Winner, Yoon Jong-shin, Red Velvet, IU, and BTS. Any surprises here for you?
No, not really.
Like we said, this award shows isn't as surprising because it's just based off streaming and digitals. What I kind of didn't know, or I guess I forgot, is that they actually have other superlative awards outside the top awards.
Yeah.
Best rock band went to Hyukoh. Best new artist went to 101. Best R&B and soul went to Suran. Best boy group went to B2B, and best girl group went to G-Friend. Was there any surprises for that?
Not really. And we didn't say the...
Oh yeah, and then the grand prize, the Daesangs, went to IU through the night, which we all knew because it's the second highest selling under Ailey's OST, but it's an OST. So
I don't get why that can't be.
I don't know. I think it's because I guess maybe it's inherently not as fair because if you're coupled with a popular drama, the song's probably going to be like it gets that extra boost from being coupled with a drama. But that's not even to say that every OST is super popular.
Yeah, that's just like because for the longest time I didn't even know that Alias was actually that big. I thought the other one was more
IU song?
No, and from Goblin. I thought the other one with Chaniel and Punch, because literally, I think because every episode that I watched, because I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched like I'm so lazy when it comes to dramas, but like I think like every episode that song would be played, and maybe Alias was too, but like I don't know why that one stuck out to me. I didn't even know that Chaniel was like I didn't even know Chaniel was in it for the longest time. So like, because usually you would only hear Punch's part. It was like, and like you just be like, okay.
Well, yeah, like we said, it wasn't really that surprising.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was the one that everyone was just like, I'm satisfied with the winners. I'm not gonna, start dragging on Twitter. Yeah. So I guess it was the least dramatic one. But let's go to day 2 because let me not speak too soon. So day 2, like we said, is for physical excellence.
Why did you break it? Like, physical excellence. So the Bond song winners were Newest W, Monster X, Hwang Chi-yeol, 17 twice, Got 7 Taeyeon, Girls' Generation, EXO, BTS, and Suju. And then the grand prize was, drumroll please, BTS. So I know a lot of people were talking about how they were like, where's 101? But allegedly, they didn't have enough songs to qualify for an album. New songs, because you needed 6 new songs.
Yeah, so we should actually bring that up. But there was actually a clarification that the Golden Disc Awards basically released, like following the ceremony, kind of breaking down what were like the requirements for this category, who won the grand prize, and all that. So I would think like the big thing was, the big, I guess, surprise of the night, or the thing that people were holding their breath for, was who was gonna win, EXO or BTS. So I think a lot of it came from the fact that, so the 2 albums that were up for it was EXO, The War, and BTS, Her.
2 good albums.
2 very good albums, and 2 albums that sold a crap ton, like honestly, if we're just, being fair. But the thing is, if you just factor in like just the album. So the thing is, The War was the original album, but then they came out with the Power Music, which was the repackage of EXO. Yeah. So the thing is, sometimes I guess award shows count the repackage as one album, but then in this case they ended up not. But people weren't sure, what they were gonna do, because with the repackage, The War actually sold more than Her. But without the repackage, and just comparing the original album to Her sold more. Yeah. So that's basically what everyone was, and then it's actually only 80% for sales and then a 20% judges score. Yeah. I think I was just seeing like everyone was kind of like, oh crap, this could go either way, which was actually kind of exciting because obviously, I'm not trying to say I don't like EXO winning, because obviously I love EXO. But it's always predictable. It's like EXO's gonna get the physical award, who's gonna get the digital. So it was actually pretty interesting to see, for the first time, at least for this award show, not knowing which way it was gonna go. Suspense. But it was also kind of tiring, because literally just bringing it up would always start fights among a lot of people. So many fan wars. Yeah, and I was just like, okay, y'all, chill. But like we said, BTS ended up winning, and then immediately after, the Golden Disc Awards released a statement basically justifying the win. So I don't know if it was because they were afraid of the backlash that they would get with the choice, or because it was actually, because in IU's case, if it wasn't Ailey, it was going to be IU. Like, it was very obvious who was going to win. Yeah. Just because that song was so successful. I think IU and Ailey's song are the only 2 to cross 2 million downloads this year. Damn. Yeah, so it's just like, it was, and they weren't going to give it to Ailey because that's an OST. But for this, it was more close, so maybe that's what prompted it. But a lot of people were saying, you know, they were scared of the EXO backlash, or whoever's backlash for the winner they picked. But so here's a translation of the article basically explaining how they decided the winner. The 32nd Golden Disc Awards decided the winners with fairness as utmost priority. The Daesang glory went to group BTS. The physical sales category counted the sales until December 2017 of albums released from December 2016 to November 2017, Gaon chart standards. Evaluation was limited to physical albums containing over 6 new tracks, excluding overlap tracks, intros, outros, and instrumental tracks. In case an artist released multiple digital or physical albums, only the album that recorded the biggest in sales was evaluated. The total score was calculated from combining 80% sales score and 20% expert evaluation score, the same as the digital category. Sales criteria was decided by the 32nd Golden Disc Executive Committee, made up of distributors and pop experts. Sales of one single album were converted into scores. Physical sales must have the same major songs, same release date, and be produced and distributed within Korea to be considered one single album. In the case of albums in other languages that are not Korean, if it meets this criteria, it will be considered one single album and is counted towards sales. Repackaged albums that coincide with judging criteria will be considered a separate album and evaluated separately with other albums. The executive committee explains, we evaluated repackaged albums that met the judging criteria, including containing over 6 new songs equally as other albums, which means if a repackage records higher sales than the full one, it can be rewarded as well. The result, BTS Love Yourself Her, which recorded 1.4 million copies sold, received the highest in sales. This 1.49 million sales is the highest a single album has ever recorded in 16 years since G.O.D's 4th album in 2001. BTS led expert evaluation score as well. The expert judges panel, made up as 30 pop experts, including music program PDs, radio PDs, music critics, Korean music distributors, music journalists. Golden Disc Executive Committee gave BTS 290 points out of 300, making this the highest score. In a subjective question regarding the Daesang by 30 expert judges, BTS also received 26 votes, the highest score. Golden Disc Executive Committee said the music market is changing rapidly and the form and method of physical releases are changing variously as well. Golden Disc Awards will be keeping an evaluation system that is based on one great principle, that's fairness, yet still flexibility applies, trends, and flows. So it seems like BTS probably won by a lot.
Yeah, but with the voting.
Yeah. So
especially.
It seems like I read somewhere else that apparently when it came to that 290 to 300, EXO's was 211. But I don't know where it says that. But I read it before. But anyway, so basically they broke it down that BTS won based on the fact that theirs recorded 1.4 and then EXO's recorded a little over 1 million, I believe.
Yeah.
Like when you don't add the repackage. Mm-hmm. And they won by the judges score a lot, or they got a pretty high judges score. So I saw a lot of people saying that this was unfair, even though they tried their best. They're like, listen, we're gonna make an article, because they felt as though these rules were changed last minute.
Yeah.
Now this actually goes into a deeper thing, that basically for the longest time, K-pop fans assumed that this was a show that counts the repackage, and this has a lot to do with a situation, or at least
the SNSD.
Yeah,
Super Junior.
SNSD won over Super Junior back in 2010 with O, and a lot of people felt like the reason why they beat Super Junior is because they counted O and the Run Double Run repack, which together would have sold more than Super Junior. So a lot of people felt like they changed the rules last minute. But I feel like, fairly put, I guess it was never confirmed that there. And I think that's the problem, because for the longest time, nobody ever touched EXO with or without the physicals. So you can't really say what was making them win.
Yeah.
Like, was it the combined physical sales? Because nobody touched them either way, really. So, like, now I know a lot of people, you know, feel like, you know, it's fine if they wanted this to be the rules, but the fact that this wasn't something that was set in advance was unfair. So what do you feel about that? Do you feel like Golden Disc Awards is a snake?
I don't think they're a snake. I mean, like, I feel like a lot of awards don't really
clarify.
Yeah, so it's like not really bad that they didn't clarify early on. I mean, it's good that they said something now, I guess. And next year, if like you really want EXO to win, like you can better prepare for that. But like, yeah, it's not really bad. It's both albums were good.
Yeah.
It's not like something like where they were like so far apart. Like I feel like they both passed 1 million. That's like already really, really good.
It's really hard to do.
Like, that's already something to be proud of. So it's like, I don't know.
And I think that's what hurt my heart the most, seeing like EXO being like, we didn't do good enough, or, you know, we have to try harder. It's not your fault. Like, you just enjoyed your fave's music. And yeah, maybe this time around they didn't win. Maybe they'll win next year. Yeah. But I don't think people should be too focused on whether they lost or won. I feel like, you know, they put out good music this year, put out good music videos, had good stages and performances, and that should be the focus. I did see, however, some people saying whether they think SM or whether they think SM will or should now, instead of doing a repackage, just release one album with all the songs that would have been on like
the repackage.
Anyway, so they can basically change up EXO buying patterns. So now it will be focused on one album, because a lot of people feel that maybe the reason why they didn't beat BTS, or you know,
it's they like switch, like some people will buy the repackage and some people will buy like the main.
Yeah, because if you know the repackage is coming and that has all the songs on it, like what's
why
the
are you gonna buy the first one?
But I don't know, because I feel like the latter makes more money, like or the former, I don't know. Having the repackage and the original makes more money. Like from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be an overlap of people who buy both.
I doubt SM's gonna like try and change that up anytime soon, at least. Not for EXO. They've been doing it for years, so I feel like it's kind of like, if it's not broke, then why?
And it would just be weird to change it the year that was like, it would be like, okay, well,
like, we're all in this for the awards now.
But I just want everyone to, like, I don't know, it just seemed like really, really, I think this, and that's actually one of the things I want to applaud GDA for, is I love the fact that they released this. I feel like every person should release how they calculated stuff, what were the scores, and I feel like that would stop the fighting. Because you could argue, well, the only thing you can argue here really is like, well, you know, why did these judges give BTS a 26 out of 30? You know, EXO's album's good too, but then all of us have subjectivity, so there's always gonna be some subjectivity to which album you think is better. But I like the fact that it's all laid out, so you can't, it's not like I think like the hubbub about it died down fairly quickly. Like it wasn't like MMAs or the Mamas, which went on for like weeks of people going back and forth and fighting each other, because it's like, well, if you don't like it, or like if you have a problem with how it laid out, this is how they said they judged it, and if you don't like it, well, because technically,
you already knew.
That's why I tell people not to get caught up with these award shows, because they literally have the right to do whatever they want, and you just kind of have to deal. Like, no matter the way you slice, like you can kick and scream, but I've only ever once seen a situation where somebody got their award revoked, and it wasn't even that the award was revoked. This wasn't even on a award show, but like, remember the Music Bank thing when AOA won with Good Luck, but then people noticed that the scores were funky. I actually did a video about this. So.
Oh wait, I think I do remember this.
People noticed that the scores were funky with how they calculated AOA's physical sales, so the recalculation would have actually made Twice Win with Cheer Up. So they didn't even take AOA's award back, but they just gave Twice an award.
Okay.
So that's like the only time I've ever seen it. And I guess that, you know, fueled the fire. People are like, oh, well, I guess if we, you know, look into it enough, whatever. But like in that case, I feel like a lot of people, like there's a lot of, like while there's always voting, there's a lot of subjectivity that goes on with it. Like because there's always somewhat of a judges panel. So like I just don't know, people shouldn't get worked up on it.
Yeah. As long as you like it, that's all that matters.
Now, how fair, because this, to be fair, this is a physical sales category. But physical sales like back in the 90s reflect something a lot different, I believe, than what physical sales now reflects. Yeah. Because I feel like it's kind of like a relic since, you know, streaming and digital music, like streaming downloads and stuff like that are definitely
bigger.
Yeah, definitely bigger. And physical sales are more like reflection of your fandom.
Yeah.
Like, and don't get me wrong, because I know people are gonna be like, well, you know, I was new to this group and I bought like their physical sales. But like the one thing I will say is like, you know, for example, Reboot, Wonder Girls, 2015, really good album. I think it was pretty well received. A lot of people loved it. But like, if somebody loved the album, liked the album, they weren't going out to buy the physical copy. At most, they would download it. At like least, they would download it from like a K2N blog.
Or don't release. Now they're gonna be shut down. How dare you?
Or they would like, you know, stream it. But it's like, I feel like, especially with the K-pop fandom, it's like you pick a team and you stick to it. So even if you enjoyed an album, doesn't mean you're gonna really run out and buy it unless you're really convinced that that's your fave and like you want to start investing money in them. Yeah. Versus like maybe you don't think your favorite album is the best, but like it's just like the ritual of being in a fandom to buy your favorite music when it comes out. So I don't know. I feel like maybe like this is specifically a thing that awards physical sales, but like I don't know. Because when you say like album of the year, I don't really think, and you know, you could argue this for digital sales. You know, sales don't always reflect what was the greatest or what was even the most popular. Like for example, because it's just like, you know, it's a very fandom based like thing. Like it's almost like counting how many light sticks of a group was sold that year.
That's so true.
But I guess that's a discussion for another day. So I guess we're moving on.
Are we?
Before we move on though, I just wanted to mention, I didn't really watch the performances that much of the night, but the one that I did watch and that like touched my soul was Lehigh. She performed Breathe, which was a song that was written by Junghyun's Shiny's Junghyun. And you know, it was, I feel like there's probably no one who didn't cry during that performance, because that was just literally like, first of all, she was so brave to like do it. Yeah, and that's so soon. Yeah, so soon. Because that song, like it's like that song itself just has such a deep meaning. Yeah, the words. Yeah, it's just so touching when you look at it, you're like, oh my, like when you think about it and the situation, you're just kind of like Jesus Christ, holy crap. So the fact that she was able to do this, you know, as a tribute to him, in remembrance of him, and you know, she did choke up in that part, just like, because the fact that she was just like, I mean, we kind of talked about this before, but she was kind of just like, you know, it was kind of like she just stopped and like turned around and she was kind of just trying to like collect herself. Yeah, collect herself. That like, it just made me like bawl. Like it was just so sad. And but then she like finished off strong, which was incredible, honestly, because I'm just like, you know, the first thing to go when you're crying is like your singing voice. Yeah, like the stability is just gone. So it's just really, really beautiful, and that's just a beautiful song. And you know, rest in peace to Junghyun. Like it's just an overall sad situation. Yeah. Like it's still really sad to think about. Like when I think about it. So yeah. So moving on. So one of the things I love to see in K-pop is when a group gets their first win on a music show, because it's always so touching and it's always so beautiful. And so this week on Mnet Countdown, na 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 new beat, Momoland with somehow they already have the song of 2018. Like how, like we're barely into it. Their song Boom Boom won, and it's their first win ever. And I've heard of Momoland for a while.
Yeah.
Like weren't they put together on a reality show?
Were they? I know. I feel like somebody from Momoland is from
Produce 101.
Yeah.
I think they put her in.
Who's her?
The Produce one. I don't know. I'm still learning about this group. I
was like, how is this? I think they put her in, not that girl in a girl group full of 9 people.
No, I don't know her name because the only ones I know right now are, of course, Jui and then
who?
Jui, the one with the pigtails.
I just know I was watching like somebody react to it and like they pointed out the English names, and I was like, they sound so sophisticated.
They have 3 English
it's Jane.
names.
It's like Jane and like all of them.
Oh yeah, Nancy.
Yeah, I'm like Nancy.
You have to be 80 to be called Nancy.
I was like,
I think.
Can you turn on the telly, Nancy? Nancy.
We were talking about this. That song really sounds like a song you would hear peak 2nd gen girl group type song. And I just thought that was really funny because like 3rd gen and 2nd gen fans are always fighting. Yeah. And they're like, oh, 2nd gen was the best. And then like some 3rd gen stands are like, oh no, 3rd gen. But everyone like is going gaga over this 2nd gen sounding song. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really funny. But I like the fact that it's like you know how like there's different like styles, and it's like girl crush or cute blah blah. I feel like this is like a style that fits me a lot, like the style that I like to see, because it's just like, you know, it's a bit silly, it's a bit sexy, it's a bit like cool, like when they do that
random rap.
Wake up!
They say, hit them folks.
When they had the phone, I was like, yes, girls! Look at you, show them how it's done. Migos was shaking. They just
pick up the phone.
Take off, and Offset retired after they saw that. They're like, why are we even trying? But it was just such a cute and cool mix. So I'm really happy that they won. I really, really like the song. But I just, not only because they won, but I love to see like new people win. Like to break the idea that only certain groups with certain sized fandoms are able to win and like, you know, get enough support behind them and stuff. And it's a really nice promo too, because I remember I saw like that story kind of went like kind of viral in a way. Like a lot of, at least among the K-pop community, a lot of people who didn't even know them or maybe weren't even into the song before were like, oh, a new face, a new name. Like that's great. So I hope that this year is like the year of that, because you know a lot of my faves like Wiki Miki, Pristine have yet to win their first #1s. So I'm hoping we're seeing more of that, and it's just, I think like it makes a nice fierce competition. Yeah. Like some of the groups that may think they're secure, they might get a little, you know, lazy, rusty or whatever, but they're like, oh look, everyone's bringing the fire. Yeah. You know, so maybe it's time for us to step up our game. Who do you want to see get their first win in 2018?
NCT, did they win? I don't know.
I'm sure they did.
They probably have, honestly. I can't tell. Have they?
I don't know. Pick another group then, since we're not sure.
I hear a lot about this Ace group, mainly because I watch Unit, and like, but a lot of their members are either on the Unit or they're on Mix 9. But like, hopefully when they come back together, maybe they can get something. And Hot Shot too.
It'd be dope if there was literally like a new winner every week. Like that's how fierce that's how good the music is this year, and that's how fierce the competition is. Yeah. But yeah, I want to see more like BTS's and G Friends. Maybe not from like, you know, the big 3.
Ooh, CLC.
CLC.
I want them. Have they won?
No.
Yeah, I want them to get something. Recently.
Like they should have for Hobgoblin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually have gotten into them, and they seem like I like them.
Moving on, so our girl Park Jimin. So if you guys don't know, Park Jimin, she is currently under JYP, and JYP got her off of like an audition program. She actually came in first place, and really? The like prize was that you got to pick which entertainment company.
Oh, is this the K-pop supers?
K-pop star. Yeah. So you got to pick, so she chose JYP. And so she ended up debuting in a group called 15N with a girl named Aewen, right? Yeah. And so, you know, 15N was great. They kind of nowadays split off, like Aewen does her own solo music. They do their own things.
Is she in JYP?
Yeah, she's still in JYP. Okay. But yeah, so basically she also hosts a show that a lot of you probably know, After School Club. It was originally hosted by Eric Nam, and actually Kevin wasn't even the first host with Eric Nam. What? I forget who it was. It was some guy with an Australian accent.
Oh wait, I know you're done.
And so currently, I didn't need to give the history of After School Club, but currently it's hosted by Jimin, Kevin, and Jay from Day 6, actually.
Yeah.
So they were doing an episode, and at one point, Jimin does this.
What are your New Year's resolutions?
I want to release more music.
JYP! Are you listening?
Hey!
I need to sing.
Why did you take my...
I'm a singer.
No, sorry.
So that's why I need an album.
No, sorry.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I need to release a song.
Okay.
At least a year.
All right, put it in.
Are you listening?
Okay.
I need a song.
Can you calm down?
Cut different camera. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right, so for me, it was to release music for my fans, and I want to be on the stage more this year. And Jimin, you want...
I need a song.
Okay.
I need an album.
Okay.
You listening?
Okay, so hold it back.
Calm down.
Right,
We
so
all
hold it
feel
back.
you, girl.
All right.
I'm a singer.
All right.
I know you are.
I have to sing.
All right. Okay.
But I don't sing.
Okay.
I'm not singing.
알았어, 알겠습니다.
What is that?
피디님 이해해주세요. 오늘 지민 씨가
Call
All
me.
right, Jay.
All right.
How about you?
We need to sing. We're JYP. We need an album.
Guys, we need to go on with our show.
All right.
We need to get on with our show. So,
It was like so bittersweet though, because it was funny, but it was also like, if she's getting to this point, obviously this is actually a real struggle.
This makes me think of Henry.
What did he do? Oh,
When
yeah.
Henry was just like, I want to make music.
His was a lot sadder though.
Yeah, he was like, I'm so sad. I'm on Twitter. Was it Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
When I was like, dang, this is kind of depressing.
It was really
when you
sad
think
because
about it.
he was like, all I have is my fans left. And I was like, dang, like, Essence really pressing him to the wall. Like, it's...
But I feel like he does a lot now.
He
I
released something. He released the, No.
He
Ooh, that was
didn't he
sick,
do an
Ken.
SM station?
He released that one thing where he had all the girls with, like, the box braids and everyone was like,
I feel like he did like 2 SM
was actually a bop.
stations.
Yeah, but I feel like people, like, SM Stations is cute, but I think it's different than, like, actually putting out an album or, like, having backing. But this kind of thing happens a lot, and I don't get it. Like, I don't want to take this off of Jimin. She actually ended up going on Instagram Live, I believe, and she was talking about how she does write songs, but because they're R&B, like, JYP rejects them, which I do not get, because...
Isn't that her style?
Well, first of all, she can literally sing Old McDonald's. She's a great singer, so it really doesn't matter. But that's so weird because it's not even like, she's actually like putting the work, because that's what a lot of people tend to do when there's like a certain artist who isn't getting attention. People will be like, well, you don't bring the money, so you can't just sit there and expect people to hand stuff to you and blah, 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 do your work. But it's like,
She's doing
work, and that's the thing that really annoys me, where a company will have like a super talented person signed and then just one day give up on them and and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's gonna cost money to put her album out, blah blah, but like that's the trade-off. Like, you signed her when she was like the hottest thing off a K-pop star. You had no qualms then, but all of a sudden you're like, oh well, dungeon for you, I guess. Like, why wouldn't, like, that's the thing. You get to take care, like, you get to ride their coattails when they're like the new hottest thing and everything they're pumping out is like, going viral and blah, blah. And it's like, when it's time for you to maybe have to invest or shell out a little money that, who knows, maybe you'll get back, maybe you won't. All of a sudden, nobody wants to open their pockets and wants to have people just sitting there. Like, that literally, because it's like somebody who's generally talented, generally has, an interest in music. She has like a project going on where she like releases songs, and so it's like, it's somebody who is actually there for the music, and you're not letting them do it, which is really, you're not giving them the support.
And it kind of sucks because she's also still young.
Yeah.
So like I'm scared that she's gonna like leave JYP if like JYP doesn't like start listening to her.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I know a lot of people, when the Wonder Girls disbanded, people are like, what the heck? But it's like, you have no choice to leave if the company you're currently at does it. No matter, and that's the thing. People always are like, you left a big three company. Like when Minzy left 2NE1 and YG, people are like, you're leaving a big three? But just because it's a big three doesn't mean they're doing what's best for you. So honestly, if she has to go out and find somebody who actually will like take like her time seriously and like take and like, you know, support her and like understand that she's a prize. Like this is somebody, she's a great singer, great performer. It was like definitely like a really funny situation. Just because she was like,
she just kept coming in, like Jay was just like, let's not like cut to a different camera, guys. And she was like, JYP, I need an album. I don't sing. I'm a singer.
But I'm a singer. Like the way she did it was like a bit. She was like, I'm a singer.
I don't. He's like, sing. Knee slapper.
But yeah, so JYP, what are you doing? So next up, Twice. Our faves, Twice, released their latest Japanese single, Candy Pop. And it's meant from some kind of mixed reviews.
Pop.
For the candy, pop, pop. For the first time, I think, like, I, like, follow a lot of Once. And for the first time, I feel like it was torn, like, the reaction from it. There were some people who liked it, thought it was cute. Some people who thought it was actually a bit childish. So, like, Twice's main demographic in Japan is, like, young, high school-esque girls, I believe. So a lot of people thought that with like the animation, like the little girl in it, they shot way too low with the demographic because it was almost like they were aiming it towards maybe elementary school girls. Which maybe their main demographic is probably like younger teen girls, but I wouldn't say that those elementary school girls probably like them. A lot of Ranger people probably still like them. I mean, there's like a main demographic, but it doesn't mean there's people who don't fall out of that demographic. So we watched it, and so let's just talk about what we thought. I thought the song was very cute.
Bless you. It reminded me of Just Right. Just because
with the little girl.
And then they somehow make it into the house. It's a little creepy.
It was, you told me, like, okay, I'm just gonna straight out say it. Some people were uncomfortable with the plot of them getting into the candy van. There's this scene, so let's just recap it for people who don't watch it. Basically, there's a little girl who's watching, you know, some anime or whatever, and it turns out that the anime characters are actually Twice. So they turn into Twice, and then there's a scene where they get into this candy van.
With JYP.
That was Brock.
I know, Brock JYP.
Brock YP is driving this candy.
BYP, that's it.
Candy truck that, like, then, I don't even know where it goes, but it ends up crashing into this little girl's room. And then she gets to meet Twice, lucky her. And then Brock gets thrown in jail. Oh yeah, they take this little 90s boombox from my childhood home, apparently, because I swear I had that same boombox. And Brock JYP gets arrested, is in candy jail. Well, no, in real jail, sorry, at the end. So a lot of people were saying it's creepy and predatory. Why would they put, like, I think it was just, I didn't get that part either, but I feel like people are trying to make it more nefarious than it actually is.
Yeah, I just think it was because they were all gonna get arrested, but he was the only one that stayed behind.
Oh, so he was doing it for the love of Twice. So like, I will do a 10-year sentence in jail.
Because like the police were running after them, which is why they go into the truck, I think. And then he like does some computer thing, and then I think the truck goes into reality. And then I guess the police catch up to him, so he's like left in jail while they get to be.
But they were all in the truck, and the trunk crashed into the girl's house.
No, he was out. He was like doing some computer thing. I don't know what he was doing.
I thought he was driving the truck.
No, I guess. Wait, I don't know.
Who was driving
all
the truck?
I know is he like the last scene, like the scene with him before he was in jail was like him on some computer thing, and then on the screen you see them like in reality, like I think they like crash and.
Oh, they crashed. So they hijacked the truck.
I guess I don't know.
Oh, apparently this was more complex than I thought.
It's Inception.
But I thought it was cute. I definitely think it's a bit cuter. I think it's a bit cuter than what they do. I mean, I think the TT dresses the ones where they're like in the like it's the cut, it's like the color blocking dresses. I thought those were kind of like
Cute.
yeah, like more juvenile, like cute. But I think those were some of like the cutest, like in the Candy Pop music video, like the cutest dresses they wore. But I didn't think it was like gross or anything like was off center. I just think they wanted to make a cute anime ass video. I thought the anime Twice was really, really cute.
Yeah.
But I would say if anything really did offend me, it was that thirsty ashy wig they put on Sana's head.
I knew it. Literally, I still don't get why she was the only one with colored hair.
I don't, like, she can have colored hair, but like, don't make it a sandpaper wig.
No, I just don't. If you're gonna make her have pink anime hair, and then everyone else is like, well, I'm just gonna have black hair, brown hair, like average hair, and then she's just gonna be in the like out of nowhere, like, hey guys, this came from Anime Con today. Like, I'm just gonna hang out with you guys, you know. I'm not gonna take off this wig.
It was like 99-cent Party City thirst tease. I was just like, why are they doing this to my girl? Like, how dare they? It was like, cause you know when they like transform from the anime character, I was like, yo, this is about to look dope, and then it just was dry. And it was like not even sitting on her head right. And I was like, no, turn it back.
Like, pink hair, what's this gonna? Oh.
Actually, please
Go back.
water her wig. I don't know.
Actually, turn back to the cartoon.
Quickly. Like, it was really, really weird, but I thought it was cute. So far, Twice's Japanese music, I mean, they had the Japanese version of TT as well as Japanese releases of their other singles with their first, like, album there, which was kind of an introduction to Twice. And then they had One More Time, which I thought it was an okay song, definitely not anywhere near my top Twice songs.
Yeah.
But with this one, I think it was just, they were just going for a catchy and cute thing. When it comes to their popular in Japan, I know they were invited to the Kohakus, which was a pretty big deal. So I think maybe they're just trying to like maintain and grow bit by bit, so they're not trying anything too experimental yet.
Yeah.
But I always think it's pretty interesting after a Korean group debuts in Japan and gets over the just making, you know, Japanese translations of their Korean songs phase, and they start doing like original music, what path they take. Because there's a lot of people who like kind of have a whole different identity when they're in Japan. Like kind of like Soshi, like their Japanese, not to say that their Korean music isn't good, but their Japanese music is very, very hard electronic.
Yeah.
And it's very good, like I like it, but it's just interesting. So I think right now it's still very Twice, and I wanna see if they take that like really switch approach, or, you know, it's just a cuter version of Twice when they're in Japan. But what do you think about how many times they came back in 2017? Because that was a heated debate too.
I don't understand, like, what the point was.
At 15,000, I mean, I
Like,
was just
as
like,
lovely as Twice is, like, but why? You don't need to come back that many times.
I was thinking like, oh, JYP, stop overworking the girls.
And I really, hey, but this song,
I was like, another comeback. Shake, shake. Like, I was just like, such a flop.
I feel like Knock Knock could have just been like, they should have just done like dual titles or something.
I want them to try dual titles. I feel like that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, it's very hard to balance because there's some people who've tried dual titles and then
One gets popular.
yeah, one just basically like
so
gets
Monster
by the
and
wayside.
Lucky One. No one listens to, I mean, you do listen to Lucky One, but like you just,
Lucky One.
even though I think I prefer Lucky One, but hey.
I like them both. Lucky One is definitely more my style, but I think the overall like look and appeal and feel of Monster is just
like
really
it
good.
overtook Lucky One,
Yeah.
and Lucky One was like, and we're no longer in existence.
Because the dance is so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
But yeah, but I still want them to do a duel.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's bound to happen. One's gonna be liked more than the other. It's just like how their releases this year, one was liked more, like some are liked more than the other. It's just like happening at the same time instead.
I think part of the problem though is that like I think with Knock Knock especially, it wasn't even supposed to be like a big comeback. It was just kind of supposed to be like a fan for the fans type thing. But then it got so
get an
popular.
album? Wasn't it on a
That was a
repackage?
repackage.
So I feel like it technically was a
But I
comeback.
don't think not everyone takes like repackages as seriously as like EXO. Like as in like they plan like a whole thing, like it's a full comeback, like it's another comeback. Where some people just do a repackage maybe perform it once or twice, and then they're like, goodbye. Like, I don't think they expected Knock Knock to be that big, and they kind of just had to roll with it. And then even Heart Shaker was on a repack album. So I feel like it was just kind of like, because even with Heart Shaker, they only did 1 week of promotions, and then they're like, well, bye, y'all. So it's kind of like, you know.
That's true.
But yeah, I think they came back a lot, but I think it's one of those things where even though Twice is doing very, very well, because like the oversaturation of K-pop groups, you never know when somebody's coming for your crown or when somebody's gonna, so I feel like it's kind of like, and I definitely think JYP is like, oh, look at how many albums they sell.
More albums. Get on it, girls.
Another one, okay.
That's a lot. Like they did a Japanese thing too, like.
Yeah, 3 actually, because this year was when they did the Japanese version of TT, and then they came out with.
Yeah, they did a lot.
But the thing is, with Japan, you don't promote as like with Korea, you do at least 4 music shows like a week. With Japan, it's kind of like you go on music station once, you maybe perform on a Mesasashi TV. Like it's not as I think intense as like Korean promotions, especially since only 3 of them speak Japanese. They're not going to go on every single variety show or whatever. And they're rookies, so they're probably not even gonna get invited to every single variety show just yet. So I don't know. I'm rooting for them. You know, I want the best, and you know, a lot of people are looking forward to this year. They think maybe we'll see a drastic change in concept.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, they definitely showed at the end of the year music awards with all the different types of styles and remixes they could handle it. So I'm excited. So last but not least.
What was?
This group really defined our 2017. Nay, they defined our life. You can get with this, or you can get with, what was that part? It's either this, or it's like that.
I want to know what it is. Right.
EXP Edition, who has basically, I guess, would you say they've been causing controversy within the K-pop fandom? Or I would say they sparked a debate.
I feel like
fandom.
that's better. Controversy seems like it's bad.
Yeah.
Is it bad?
Well, yeah, that's negative. I think that has a negative connotation.
Because I feel like no one's like really like.
I just caused controversy. Oh, that's true. But they kind of been like a hot topic in the K-pop world. Basically, they're a K-pop group where there's no Korean members.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna be like, wait, is Koki?
I think Koki's half Japanese. Yeah. So it's a K-pop group. It actually used to have 6 guys in it, but the 2 black guys were like, deuces. And now it's 3 white guys, and then Koki, who's half Japanese, half white. Anyway,
my fave.
Your fave.
The fact that you know all this makes me question.
But
I was gonna say the wrong name. Is Semi?
She literally is such a stan.
Semi like was writing her a song. He has a OST.
Listen, he's trying to get on the OST. He's trying to come for Ailey's weave. He be out
was
here.
Good.
No one knows what we're talking about because nobody researches them as much as we do. EXP Edition is a K-pop group with no Korean members, and were initially formed as a thesis for somebody's, I guess, thesis for their grad school or something. But they actually ended up.
Oh, it says it right here, the Columbia MFA thesis.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was for Columbia. Oh, it was for Columbia.
I thought I was gonna say Harvard because I thought it was like a big school.
Columbia is a big school.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought it was Harvard instead.
But yeah, but even after, you know, that whole thing happened, 4 of the members decided they actually wanted to try at being a K-pop group and are actually currently active in Korea promoting as a K-pop group. So they recently released a new song called Stress, and this would be their first like official release, because I know they had the songs they did with the thesis, but these were like, they had one, Feel Like This, or was it Love Like This?
No, it was I Feel Like This.
Yeah, Feel Like This.
That's all I remember.
It wasn't like a breakdown, an EDM
Was
breakdown?
it?
I don't even remember.
I keep confusing it. It reminds me of another song, and I have to stop myself when I sing it because I'm gonna sing the other song instead.
But yeah, so they released this new song called Stress, and honestly speaking, it's alright.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as horrible as people make it out to be. Now you could tell they have like accents when they speak Korean, but like we were talking about this, and it's like, you know, like my biggest thing is if you're gonna be like a non-Korean being in K-pop, don't be one of those that are like I'm a foreigner, so I'm not actually gonna try hard and train and stuff like that because my foreignness can get me by or whatever. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do. And I actually talked about this like 3 years ago in a video I made about when like there was like a lot like Show Me the Money went to like LA for the auditions. It was the first time, and there's a lot of non-Korean people. And like at the basis of it, y'all can do whatever you want. So please don't take this as me saying you can't, because who cares? That's just my thing that sometimes I'm just like side-eyeing it, because it's like, is this really your dream, or do you just think it will be easy for you because you're a foreigner? Or do you think, and like, obviously for a foreigner, it'd be hard to break in, but there's like that, oh, I'm a foreigner, so or do you just want to like, you know, meet your fave or whatever? Because personally, I think it may seem like a good enough motivation now, but then when you actually go over there, you're gonna realize that's like not enough for like how much work you put in. But for them, we were watching a couple videos because Jasmine, she was really interested in showing me more about her faves. So
the lies. You were exploring. She was exploring herself.
So I'm exploring myself.
I know. I was like, that sounds sexual. Hey.
Really good singers. You know, they give their all at dancing. Their performances are very energetic, and they actually all took the time to learn Korean.
Yeah.
We were actually watching them. We are like their stands now. We're actually watching them perform at some like open concert, and it was actually funny because they were getting interviewed by the host who could also speak English. And so he asked them a question in Korean. He was like about to translate in English, but then not even Koki, Frankie starts like responding to it, and he's like, wait, you can understand me? And he's like, yeah. And so they took the time, like I'm like, if you're gonna try to do this, like I can't even be like, what are y'all doing? Like y'all are grown men trying to be, no, like they're actually doing hard. So if you're gonna try to do it, at least put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
I know there's so many kids who maybe don't want to admit it because they're embarrassed and because they're not, you know, Korean, who probably would want to be in EXP's Edition's place, or at maybe one point wanted to do it, but then they're like, oh no, this is too ridiculous or whatever. But like, you know, I feel like as I'm getting older, it's like the idea of I shouldn't do something or I can't do something, it's kind of like dumb. Like if you just want to do it, I guess. But just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and you're doing it respectfully. Yeah. But if you're like they're actually talented guys, like you can't, and they actually are trying their best to do what they can. I mean, is it still kind of like, well, if you want to become singers, why don't you just do it in your own country? Yeah, I guess that would always come up, but it's not like they're not putting their best foot forward.